Welcome, beautiful souls, to Beyond Transcendence with Andrew. As you settle into this moment, you may begin to notice a sense of calm gently rising inside of you. The kind of calm that shows up when you're exactly where you meant to be. Today, I'm honored to share this space with a remarkable soul, Catia. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, but
Batalha.
Batalha?
Mhm.
Beautiful. Catia Batalha, psychotherapist, yoga philosophy teacher, author, and mystic who helps people remember the truth of who they really are. As you listen to her voice, as you see her unfold the story in your mind, as you feel the subtle shifts her words create within you, allow yourself to receive whatever insight is calling your name. Katia walks beside people on their path to inner awakening, and today she walks beside us. Welcome, Katia.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you and your listeners.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. So tell me, what was for those just meeting you right now, could you share a moment when you first saw that inner spark in yourself?
Inner spark in myself. Yeah, there was a moment that I recall, I guess, when I first felt it. I guess until that point, life felt very empty, kind of meaningless or kind of superficial, as though something was missing and I just couldn't figure out what it was. I had a regular job and had a regular life, I suppose, but something big was missing, or at least I felt it was. And then at one point, I, through synchronicities of life, I went to this yoga school, and there was a workshop on tantra and the chakras and personal development. And I just sat there as the swami was talking, and he was talking about consciousness and the human potential and how life has a deep meaning and our soul longs for something more than just to, have this regular life that we're having. And our soul longs to awaken, to become conscious, to reach the states that should be natural to us, the state of love and compassion, altruism, kindness, all these beautiful states of light within us. And he was talking about things like that, how our soul attracts the right circumstances for us to awaken those parts and learn the lessons that we need to learn. And it's not even so much about what he was saying, but I felt as though I remembered that somehow. Like a part of me already knew that, even though I hadn't heard that before in this lifetime. But it felt as though I could almost finish his sentences in my head. There was something in me that recognized such deep truth in what was being said or that moment, and I felt this deep peace inside of me, this feeling of being so fulfilled and so full of life force that I had never felt before. So I guess that was the first moment.
That's beautiful. And when you drift back gently along your life's timeline, is there a specific moment that stands out that a scene you can still see a picture, a message, or you can hear the sensation felt in your body? And what helped shape the woman you are today?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can. There's probably many moments that created those shifts, but I suppose the crucial moment was actually a moment of destruction. Because I suppose growth is not always done through beautiful teachings, and it can be done through devastation and loss. And that was my case. I suppose because I had always learned so many things that really, at this point in my life don't resonate with me. But until then, they were just regular life. And I had built my life on those foundations that were now, as I see it, violent and not based on conscious principles. But that was life back then. Lots of alcohol. Yeah. But I didn't know anything else. So I was building my life around that. And I guess that was really not aligned for me to continue on that path because through my despair and depression, I was suicidal many times and all those things. But I had kind of one thought that kept me going, which is that's okay because one day I'm going to have a child and I'm going to then create the life that I really want, with so much love and so much happiness. So everything was hanging on the balance of having that child. And that got me through all my darkest moments, just that one thought. Of course, when I was in my kind of late 20s, really, um, and the circumstances were finally ideal for me to have that possibility, to have that child. And I got pregnant straight away. And I was so happy. I had huge connection with this being inside of me. I felt like my heart had just opened up. I felt connected for the first time in my life. I hadn't found yoga yet. Now I feel connected all the time, but at that point, it was a new thing for me to actually feel a deep connection. So everything was just perfect and on track, even though my life was built on foundations that just were not aligned with my heart. But I suppose my soul didn't want to settle for that. But to make me change course, something drastic had to happen. And I lost that, that baby inside of me. So I had a miscarriage. And when I lost that baby, there's no words to describe what that feels like, but it's just a total destruction of everything that I was and everything that my life was. Like a castle being destroyed to pieces, and then all the pieces are on the ground. But through those pieces being on the ground, I finally had a clean slate. I finally had the possibility of using those materials, those raw materials, to build life in a different way, in a way that resonated more. And interestingly enough, that's exactly when I found yoga, when the slate was clear. And yeah, so that was the most, I guess, influential moment of my life.
Wow. As you reflect on the version of yourself, if you were to float above her now, seeing her journey with compassion, what wisdom does your higher self naturally offer her? What rises without effort?
See, the thing that I really would have wanted to tell her is it gets better. Like, trust me, like your soul will guide you in the right direction. You can't tell right now, but every single thing that's happening to you, as painful as it may be, is aligned. It's like you have pieces of your life, but they're all a piece of a puzzle, but you can't see the puzzle. So you think you're in pieces, but you're actually not in pieces. You've got the right pieces. They're just, you can't just quite tell what the puzzle is right now, or even that there is a puzzle. But you know what? If I could really go back, I would probably not even tell her that, because I think I needed that destruction. I needed that full destruction. And I think if I'd known that there was a puzzle, I would have always been hopeful. And there's always a part of me that I wouldn't allowed fully for a clean slate. So I would just tell her, like, you are loved, basically. You are loved and you are safe.
That's beautiful. So when people come to you seeking clarity and healing, what do you love helping them see within themselves?
I love helping them see the puzzle, honestly. Even though I just said I probably wouldn't have done that for myself, but I tend to be more strict with myself than I am with others by far. So often people are suffering, but they don't quite see that there is a big picture. They just see the pieces, basically, as I did. And when you start to look at your life, like all the little things that you think don't matter, why did this happen to me, at that point? Why do I keep attracting this type of people into my life? Why do I have pain in this particular part of my body? All the little things that we think, oh, this doesn't quite sound right, or this doesn't fit. There are actually, those are the pieces of the puzzle, and they tell us a story. They tell us our soul is trying to awaken, or trying to, what is our potential? What are we trying to grow into in this life? And all those personal tragedies that happen, they tend to be related to the parts of the soul that we are meant to be growing. And we can either not listen and just keep attracting the same kind of people all our lives and having the same kind of problems, or we can actually start to listen and see what are the patterns here and what am I meant to learn that I haven't learned yet, and this is why this keeps happening. And so to create that big picture where people start to feel hope and they start to feel something deeper and more meaningful in their lives that allows them to step back from their problems and start looking at it from a wider perspective.
When they get the wider perspective, what new truths do they often hear emerging from their inner voice? And what are the shifts that they begin to feel?
I feel like start to feel more inspired and with more life force inside, because often people are quite depressed because they feel like everything is meaningless. So to start to feel that spiritual connection, the connection to the soul
Hmm.
is or tends to be really, really powerful, because then you're not in a meaningless journey. Suddenly you're on a quest, to find your truth and to find your potential. And yeah, so they can start to feel more open, more excited about life, more interested and more curious, I would
I
say.
love it. That's beautiful. As you allow your awareness to move gently forward into the version of you 5 to 10 years now, what do you see?
To be honest, at this stage of my life, like I went through all those stages and I feel really grounded in who I am, what is my potential, and what am I here to bring. And that just feels, really, really incredible. Um, and I just don't see myself moving away from that. I just see myself embodying that more and more and going deeper into, because life is continuous learning forever, like it's not like, okay, you get to a point and you stop. Always there is learning. So just deepening all the lessons that I've learned and sharing them more and more, which is what I'm starting to do now. Yeah, with my books and with my courses and things like that. And obviously as a psychotherapist. So yeah, just trying to spread it and share it a bit more now that I feel it grounded in me.
I love it. So, for someone listening right now who may feel stuck or afraid, what is the straightforward step you would love for them to do themselves, hear themselves choosing, and feel ready after hearing your story today?
I feel like the main thing that is really important as a starting point is to turn inwards and listen. So just tune out of the kind of the job or the what is stresses of life or whatever, and just bring the attention inward and feel what is there, tuning into that deeper part of ourselves, into the soul or whatever people want to call it, doesn't matter. And start to listen. There are always messages there about what is aligned for us, what is alive for us. And especially if people feel depressed and anxious, etc. There's probably all these ways that they're disconnected from their heart and their soul. So the main thing to do is to make time in your life and start listening, and then set that intention of I'm going to connect with myself and see what unfolds. Because even setting an intention is powerful. From that, we will attract things that naturally resonate with that intention. And then, I would say, surround yourself with things that inspire you, people who inspire you. Read books that inspire you, courses, whatever it is that your soul feels a little spark, then just chase that, because that will open up more and more space for that.
I love that. So, where can people find you, Katya?
Where can people find me? So my website is catiabatalha.org, and that's probably the easiest way. There you'll find my new book, Echoes of the Timeless, and some courses and resources and things like that. So that's the best way.
Beautiful. Are you on Instagram too? YouTube,
All the
all that?
things, yes.
Okay,
Instagram,
okay.
Facebook, TikTok, you name it.
Beautiful. Well, this has been such a wonderful conversation. Katya, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your heart with us today, your presence, reminding us that healing is not about becoming something new. It's about remembering who we once were. To everyone listening, as you move through the rest of your day, you begin to notice the subtle shifts and the more unmistakable inner voice, a calmer breath, a deeper connection of your own truth. This is the essence of Beyond Transcendence with Andrew. to rise, to remember, and to return home to yourself. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, and keep transcending. Much love to you all.